Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. EpicConversions.com, EpicConversions.com. That's where I'm coming from. I want to welcome you to another episode of Thoughts on the Walk. Thoughts on a Walk. Today, I want to talk to you guys about when to quit and when to keep going when it comes to various projects that you're working on, whether that be like a YouTube channel or a blog or a whole entire business. Sometimes I want to talk to you guys about when you should hang up the towel, throw in the towel, and when you should keep going. It's a lot of people have trouble with this, so let's talk about it. The first thing I would tell you when it comes to this is pretty easy to do, and it is adjust your language. Like, adjust the way you're looking at this idea of quitting or continue to move on and with a project. I don't have quitting in my vocabulary. That's not a word that I use. That's not how I use to describe what I do. If something's not working out and I decide that I'm going to AKA quit something, I don't really see it as quitting. I see it as moving on from something. I move on from things. And guys, the reason why you would move on from something is because you're moving to something. It's never just about quitting something. It's about moving on from something because you're moving to something else. It's normal for things not to work out sometimes. It's totally normal. Sometimes things work out. A lot of times they don't work out. And what I do is I decide we're moving into a second point. We're deciding whether or not to move on from something or to keep going with something. This second point is this. Are you having fun with it? Because having fun with something, it makes a big difference. If you're having fun with something, then generally, a lot of times, you can find a way to adjust it to get it making money. But if you're not having fun, if it's just a chore, then, that's tough. Because number one, it's not making you any money. And number two, you're not having any fun with it. So it's like you're double screwed almost. So that's the second thing when I'm trying to decide if I want to move on from something or if I want to stay with it. I always ask myself, am I having fun with this? Do I like this? And if the answer is yes, then I'm going to move on to figuring out what the problem is with monetization. What is the issue? Is it traffic? Is it leads? Is it my offer itself? Is it a lack of experience? Is it a lack of understanding for my subject matter, for my market? What exactly is the problem? Is it the fact that I'm in a niche where not a lot of people are making money? You gotta wonder. And there's answers to all these questions. Like literally there's I can think of a workaround to every one of those problems. So again, when I think about whether to quit something or to continue with something, first thing I'm gonna do is adjust my language, because I don't use the word quit. I don't think you should quit anything. I think you should move on from things when they're not a good fit for you. What if you are in a niche that you don't necessarily enjoy that much, but you feel like there's a lot of money there because everyone else is making a lot of money there, and you're trying to make it to the money because you're desperate and you just want to make some money, you know? You're not worried about passions and interests and stuff. You're just chasing the bag, is what I call chasing the bag. The first thing I would tell you is that it's hard to make money when you're just chasing the bag for a lot of people. And the people I've known who are successful making money just chasing the bag, a lot of times they're not very happy. They might be happy at first because they're making money on their own and they weren't making money before, so there's like a novelty to that. But once that novelty wears off, they start to find themselves being very unfulfilled. Like there's never enough money in something, you know? So it's kind of like one of those things where it's better if you actually have an interest in whatever you're dealing with. And don't mistake a lack of interest for burnout, because, you know, you could be very interested in something and still get burnt out with that particular thing. And maybe you move on for a little while, then you come back. But I think that's different than just not having an initial interest in something. So I think you really got to ask yourself, do I care about this? You know? Because if you don't care about it, it's probably not a great fit. It's time to move on. Not necessarily quit, just pivot, you know? Time to pivot. People pivot all the time. So I would say, when it comes to, like, you know, quitting at a project or, you know, continuing on with a project, again, the first thing I'd say is I would adjust my language. I would stop using the word quit. The second thing is I'd ask myself, if I have an actual interest in the subject, is it fun? Do I actually care about it? And if the answer is no, then yeah, it's time to move on and pivot. If the answer is yes, then you move on to the third question, which is, okay, what is the issue with this right now? And I'm talking about, this is just, I use the same methodology from everything from, you know, businesses, entire business projects, to just like whether I want to exist on a social media platform or not. Because I can't be on all of them. I'm not one of those guys who can be on all the social media platforms. That's not me. Right now, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Medium, and of course, email. I don't consider, that's not social media, direct response. But the heart of my business is through email. And the social media stuff is really just to generate leads. Okay, so I'm also on YouTube, Twitter, Medium, Instagram. Those are the 4 places I'm on right now. And honestly, I'm looking to take that down by 1. Because right now I got my eye on Instagram. As far as like ruthlessly eliminating one of those platforms. I don't know that I need to be on Instagram, to be honest. I don't think it does much for me currently. And Instagram works really good for some people. It does. So like, to me, when you're in a situation like that where like you're looking at something like, is this worth it to me? Should I stay here? You have to ask yourself. If you know it's proven, like I know Instagram's proven, it works for people. I have to ask myself, do I like it here? What is the point of this? Right now, I just I'm not really jiving with Instagram. I don't really, I'm not feeling it. It's just not something I feel like I need to be there. And like that is completely, entirely separate from like, oh, this place works. It's making me a lot of leads right now. Like if I was getting a lot of leads from Instagram right now, it'd be different. I'd work to get better at it. But I'm not. So I have to look at it and I have to say, okay, I'm not really getting a lot of results from this platform. Is it worth the amount of time that I put into it? Now, admittedly, I don't put a lot of time into Instagram. I make a video and I upload a video once a day to Instagram. So I probably got like 10 minutes a day invested in Instagram, if that. But even then, I think, is it really worth it? Do I really need to be here? It's not really doing much for me as is. It might only be 10 minutes, but, you know, 6 days, that's an hour. That's an hour for what? What am I doing? Because the thing is, what I'm doing right now on Instagram is not really effective. It's not really pushing the needle. So for me to push the needle on that platform and actually get something out of it, I'm going to have to do more. I'm going to have to do something different. Or else that 10 minutes might just be 10 minutes, but it's a waste of my 10 minutes. You know? You do 10 minutes for 6 days, that's an hour. It adds up. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to waste any of my hours on this planet. I don't know how many I have, so why would I waste any of them? That's kind of how I feel about it. So I got to ask myself, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to actually figure out how to grow on Instagram the right way? Or do you want to move on? Because wasting my time on there is unacceptable. Let me give you a flip example. I really like podcasting. It's something I enjoy doing. I have fun with podcasting. Like the one you guys are listening to right now, I have fun with this. Does it make me money? Does it push the needle? Does it get leads? It does get me some leads. Most of those leads come from YouTube. But even like with the podcasting thing, it's like I'm not getting crazy results with it. So it's kind of like, well, you enjoy it enough to where you don't want to stop doing it, but you're not getting the results you need. So what does that mean? Well, when you're dealing with something that's proven that you know has gotten other people results, and you actually enjoy what you're doing, but you need more results, that's where you say, okay, I need to dedicate more time a day to this project, right? That's kind of where I'm at with podcasting, you know? Maybe it won't be thoughts on a walk. Maybe it will present itself in another podcast where I have guests on. That's probably the best way and the fastest way to grow with this particular form of lead generation. Just grow a podcast with guests. But you know, I just have to decide if that's something I want to pursue or not. All signs point to yes. So anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an insight into my thought process today about, you know, when to, let's not say quit, let's say move on from. About when to move on from a project or when to keep on pursuing it. It's not just about money. It's more complicated than just money. It has a lot to do with, you know, your interest level. Are you having fun? And then money comes second, you know. It's far easier to make money with something when you're interested in it. And the reason why is because it's easier to pivot. You know, if something's not making money, which often when you get into something, even if you're interested in it, it's not going to be making money for you at first. You're going to have to learn how to get better at it, grow on it, and just, you're going to have to, you know, move through a few different adjustments. That's been my experience anyway. So, anyways, that's all I got. Hope you guys are doing well out there, man. If this resonates with you, be sure to get over to epicconversions.com, sign up for my free newsletter. I send that out 3 to 6 times a week. If you don't like being emailed 3 to 6 times a week, by somebody, then don't sign up. But if you want to hear more of what I have to say, I like to think I put my best free content out by email. And again, I put it out 3 to 6 times a week. So that's all I got. Hope you guys are amazing out there. I'll see you tomorrow for another episode. By the way, this is episode 70 of Thoughts on a Walk. Episode 70, can you believe that? Crazy. I'll see you guys.